sweetgeorgiapam.com is the website where you can find out all about Pam. You can also get some free stuff on there. You can sign up for sessions with her. You can sign up for a newsletter. So many great things. Also, Sweet Georgia Pam is on social media. That's her handle, Sweet Georgia Pam. So reach out to her there. And don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, you can always leave comments here under the description, and we'll be happy to interpret your dream if you want to share it. I'm going to share one of mine today because I hope, I'm just going to leave it at that. I was going to say, I'm going to edit that out.
I like it. Okay.
All right. Here we go. So I'm going to share one of my dreams today. And it's gosh, how old is it now? It's almost 20 years old. Okay. But it was one of the most impressive dreams that in my life. And I was sitting on a couch watching television, and I was sitting next to a woman, because I date women, on the couch with me. And so I was in the feel that we were not intimate yet, but that we were getting to know each other, and I wanted to get to know her better. And I thought I would try by putting my arm around her. Okay. I put my arm around her on the couch. Again, I'm not seeing her yet. I sense her body next to me. Put my arm around her, and as I feel her, I feel a kind of a dead sensation of her being dead. And she turned to look at me, and it was my dead self looking back at me. That's the dream.
Wow.
Because I remember the sensation of how she felt dense, but lifeless. And then when I turned to look, like, what is this? It was me, deceased, looking at myself.
Ooh, man, that's like mythical is what that feels like. Right.
So, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, now that's the main part of the dream I remember. I can't remember I believe that once I saw myself, I believe that she tried to choke me or do harm to me.
Okay.
So that's another element of the dream.
Okay. I almost said that's great. I have to be really careful.
It's always fun to meet your corpse. It's awesome.
I do have to be careful because I have such a big, optimistic, joyful energy.
Well, and you love doing this. Well, you love doing this.
I love this. This is so, that's why I said this is mythic, archetypal energy. This has some real profound imagery. And I'm like, oh, I love it. Forgetting that you actually experienced this dream and
and it might have been traumatic. No, I did
terror that comes up.
Quite startled. I mean, it was because I've been the person that always remembered my dreams. When I was a kid, I'd wake up and tell my mother about my dreams at breakfast. So dreams I've always been comfortable with them. It's one of the reasons I think Pam and I, get along so well, is because I love her interpretations, and I just love dreams. And I'm the person that if I don't get enough sleep, or I don't get a dream, if I don't remember a dream, then I'm frustrated. I don't like that. But anyway, this one, I woke up quite unsettled, obviously.
So I'm not going to hurt your feelings by digging into the gore a little bit.
Again, it was 20 years ago, and no, you're not going to, no.
Well, because the first thing I want to do is ask you a few clarifying questions, right? So I'm trying to paint this picture like a movie in my head. So if you don't remember the answers to these, that's fine. But any details you can fill in will help.
Okay.
You're sitting on the couch watching TV. Is there lighting in the room, or is it?
From what I remember, it was the evening. I felt like the illumination mostly came from the television.
Okay. Any idea what was on the television?
I don't remember being able to see it. I think it was glared.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So the detail, there was no detail in the program.
Okay. Which side of you is the woman sitting on?
On my left side.
She's on your left. Okay. And for some reason, when I picture this dream, you guys are like shoulder to shoulder, but that doesn't.
That's exactly right. We were sitting shoulder to shoulder, and then I decided to put my arm around her.
Okay.
Because I'm smooth like that.
Yeah. You're like, I know what to do in this situation.
You know, I'm not sure if I did the whole stretch before I did it, but because I'm cool like that.
Yeah. Okay. And so you reach around. Okay. Is there any detail about what you or she is wearing? You or you and the person beside you are wearing?
I don't remember. I know I don't remember it being thick. So it's almost like summer wear, right? Okay. So it was warmer weather wear.
Okay.
But I don't, I just remember it being kind of a thin shirt. I was more focused on, again, the dense, it's hard to describe it. It was like lifeless density of her shoulder back, my shoulder back, as I put my arm around her. So but there was thin material. It was thin material.
Okay.
Of the shirt. So because I was able to sense her back.
Now, when you turned and looked, did she also turn and look? Are you guys facing each other like looking in a mirror?
Yes.
I mean, okay.
Yes. When I turned to look, she turned to look. I think I probably beat her by a second to look. So when I turned, then I physically saw her turn to look at me, and it was
terrifying.
It was me. The call came from inside the house.
Oh God, I'm just like in it. I'm like, no. Okay, all right. So I'm just gonna jump around. Here we go.
And let me also say too, with the harming me, we were standing. So it's almost one of those things where I don't remember how we got from sitting on the couch to standing, but I believe we were standing at the point of her trying to do harm to me. So I think I was backing. I was in a defensive position mode at that point.
Woo! Yeah. Okay. All right. So so sitting on a couch watching TV is zoning out. So metaphorically, you were zoned out in your life at that time to something going on, right? And then you were, I'm going to use the very old-fashioned word of courting.
That's right, my lady.
You're courting this part of yourself, okay? You are in a courtship, which is to say there's a little bit of temptation, or there's a little bit of dancing going on between you and some aspect of your life. Is starting to, there's some back and forth here between you and some awareness that is surfacing from your unconscious. Okay. Courting.
Well, but I mean, there's no word that because dating is such a generic word. Courting is the point. You're not there yet. You haven't kissed yet. You haven't held hands yet. You're back in the day you had chaperones, there was no chaperones in my dream.
Yes. There's right. That's exactly what it is, a courtship. Okay. And then you make a move. So that feels like an important part, because again, if we take this as all aspects of the dream or aspects of myself, then you or your ego makes a move. So your waking self in real life has made some move that brings this to surface, that brings this truth to the light. Okay. And once you see that it's you who is dead, this dead version of you, then that dead version of you reacts like a zombie. It was almost like your perspective is what started this wrestling for you to defend yourself against your own self. And the specifics in a dream are really important. So for me, it's the cold, dead skin that is the message. Something is dying. Something has died. And so now you have to face and wrestle with what has died.
Now this is where I'm going to let you know what was happening in my real life around this dream. So I had this dream, and soon after I was diagnosed with kidney disease. It's a true story. So I love this dream because of what happened out. It was my body was telling me that something indeed had. I had to have a kidney transplant a few years after that, and I had no idea.
Oh my God.
And so one of the reasons I wanted to share this dream too is because, again, not every dream is literal, but I do think that it's worth paying attention to because it could save your life. You know, the dream is not the reason I went to the doctor, but I just remember having chills at, wait a second, my body told me.
Yeah.
And, you know, I averted, you know, just fully succumbing to the zombie.
There is a book out there from one of the well-known dream authors and researchers called Dreams That Saved Our Lives. And it is that. It is a collection of people who had dreams that alerted them to something going on within their body that they then went and got checked out, and it was a lifesaver. So the thing that I want to point out about that, and especially the fact that you had that experience to look back on and go, oh, my body is communicating with me, is that your unconscious, your dreaming mind is tapping into all sorts of resources you're not aware of.
Yeah.
So body signals is one of those sources. I know a friend of mine whose daughter had a childhood seizure, and a week before, so nothing happened as a result. She's okay. She's actually going into studying neurology now, thank God. Wow. In college. But a friend told me later that a week before, she had dreamt that her daughter there was an earthquake, and her daughter climbed into the root ball of a tree and hid while this earthquake was going on. Well, that was a week before that same child had a very unexpected seizure.
Wow.
So we tap into that stuff, and being in that regular dialogue with your dreams, writing them down and having a dream journal will help you keep tabs on what your unconscious knows and is sharing with you.
And dreams are not meant to scare you. You know, like they're there to help you. So even if it's a case like in mine and in your friend's child's case, like, you know, it's, yeah. And again, I don't know if I would have, you know, because again, I haven't had my dreams interpreted until I got to know Pam, but I always engaged with them. Right. And I found, and it was only in hindsight, I was like, oh, but I love the learning and awareness of it. The fact that, again, your body's always trying to tell you something. I used to give speeches about my condition. It's 20 years this year. So yay, I've had my transplant.
Congratulations.
But thank you. Almost able to drink. My kidney, you know, I usually have parties based on its age. And so we will have a, you know,
hashtag life goals.
A Las Vegas trip for his 21st birthday. But you know, I do think that, you know, with this relationship, like you said, with your dreams, that just knowing that your body's always trying to tell you something. Like I said, you know, I would give speeches, and I would say that when it came to symptoms, you know, because a lot of people, when they get symptoms physically, they get angry at their body. People who I knew who were on dialysis and who, you know, they were angry that their body was failing them. And my point was always, your body's telling you something. It's begging something. It's asking something. It's not trying to punish you. So your dreams are not trying to punish you. They're trying to help you. I mean, and so I think for a lot of people who have maybe been beaten down by life, to reverse that mentality of what life is trying to do for you might help them. And dreams are a part of that.
Yes. And if it's showing up in your dreams, it's showing up elsewhere. Dreams are not the only source of inner guidance or of information, but they certainly are a really powerful, useful source when you know how to not take them literally and how to understand what it is that they're trying to show you.
Well, if you want to take advantage of being able to work with your dreams, Pam is here for you. SweetGeorgiaPam.com is the website where you can find out all of that information. And like we said, there's some free stuff on there just for you. Thank you for listening to the podcast. A downloadable guide that's free called 6 Nights to Better Dream Recall. Also a free half-hour Zoom session with Pam. You can direct message her on social media as well, Sweet Georgia Pam, and leave a description of your dreams in the comments below here on YouTube. And we'd love to be able to interpret your dream. Yeah. All right, Pam, thank you as always, my love.
Sweet dreams, everybody.